welcome everyone to the NIB sessions. This is number 14. So yeah, it is like 2 weeks ago since the last sessions of the Nibiru chill sessions. Today we have so many people from core team. Let's say like we have Brandon, we have Noel, and we also have Whiplash G, right? Yeah, Yo G. So let me just start from the first questions. Oh, sorry. All right. So before we begin the sessions, Brandon, maybe you can share more a little bit about yourself. Who are you? What are you doing at Nibiru?
Yeah, sure. Also, Nan, just a heads up, I think you have some internet issues. But yeah, so hi everyone, I'm Brandon. I'm the head of growth here at Nibiru. Been with the team for a little over a year now. Been leading the go-to-market initiatives alongside just like user acquisition. Been heavily focused on a lot of, different verticals. So, one is promoting the general L1 to the broader crypto ecosystem and space. The other component is, of course, just getting, things like the EVM up and live, and then kind of helping the different protocols in the chain that are actively building, just getting and helping them go live and, kind of helping them with their go-to-markets as well. So a lot of the spaces, AMAs you see with like Nebula, Astrovault, a lot of those, myself and a few folks in like the marketing side help like kind of liaison and coordinate. So yeah, excited to be here today.
Cool. Happy to have you here with us, Brandon, because like for the last session you are not here, right? So we really miss you, to be honest. All right, so let's move to the next. We have Noel. Noel, could you please like tell us more about yourself?
Hey you guys, my name is Noel. I am the lead designer here at Nibiru. I handle everything from like marketing or design for marketing, social media, web design, a little bit of the Nibiru app and stuff. So I kind of like oversee kind of all that. I've been with the team for about 10 months now. We're getting close to a year. I'm super excited again to be here. And I just mentioned earlier, little hint, our merch store, I'm trying to get it up and running by Monday, so before the holidays. But yeah, nice to meet you guys. Thank you for being here.
Wow, super sick. I'm looking forward to it though. So yeah, I think I just saw Quen also here with us. Quen, could you please share a little bit about yourself?
Sure, definitely. Hey everyone, Gwen here. I am the India lead for Nibiru. I head the BD and the community for like the ecosystem out there, majorly in India. So looking forward to the session, and I have been there with Nibiru for like more than 6 months. So happy to talk further.
Cool. Thank you so much, Quen. Let's move to G.
Going on, everybody. I'm Whiplash. I'm part of our strategy and ops team, so I work closely with a lot of our venture investments, part of our ecosystem, and working through our structured products. I've got a background in finance, so I do a lot of the strategy and operations in finance as well.
Cool. Sounds great. All right, so we will move to the first question of today. So I just want to know, like, what is the update on the development side of things for Nibiru right now?
Yeah, for sure. So the first thing, Nebula has been on testnet for about 2 weeks now. A little over 2 weeks. I think on a daily basis, while it's not a lot, it's still notable. I think they're generating about 10,000 transactions a day, of which on average generating about 2,000 wallets per day. So really exciting to see the development of dApps slowly trickling out. I think right now they're the only ones that are actively running this campaign. If you guys don't know, Nebula is a lending protocol, so you can supply, borrow. I think right now it's obviously test assets, but in the future it'll be real Nibi and other other assets. But we also just got Astrovault on live on the mainnet. They're actually live on the WASM front. So they have a few pools that are live. So they have an XNibi to Nibi pool, an XNibi to USDC Noble, and then XNibi to AXV. AXV is their native token for for Astrovault. And XNibi is like a derivative. It's not really a liquid staking token, but it's kind of similar in that sense. You kind of need to have XNibi to interact with the different pools on the chain. So it's pretty neat. It's their fee mechanism token for Astrovault specifically. I'm working right now on the web app side of Nibiru, be that or on the ecosystem directory. But on the broader EVM side, I mean, it's still on testnet. Our main focus for at least the next few weeks here is to continuously get the dApps on the testnet. I know Euclid, for example, is currently on testnet on their side. I think they're planning an incentivized testnet. I have to confirm, but they have a registration form on their website right now. So would take a look there. But yeah, our priority for the next few weeks is really to get the dApps up and running. Few dApps have mentioned that they'll be going live closer to around the mainnet launch of EVM. So it'll be a pretty exciting but rigorous next few weeks as we focus on getting the dApps up, making sure there isn't as many issues on the and to properly QA the apps. Then let me see what else. We just announced Gemach as well. So Gemach, they built a suite of different products. So they built GLend, which is also lending protocol. They built Gbot, which I'm really excited about. I hinted about this a few days ago, but they built a Telegram wallet alongside a sniper bot. So the benefit of this is you're essentially interacting in a CLI, which is a command line interface, versus interacting directly in a thing like MetaMask, Kepler. There's a lot of steps to like approving transactions and sending a transaction forward. But with like a Telegram wallet, you're able to more easily directly interact with like a contract address and then just be able to, either buy or sell different tokens depending on your needs. So really excited about Gbot. And then they also built Data, which is a aggregator, mostly for meme coins. So that's kind of where you see, all the meme coins that are deployed on. And Gemach is multi-chain. So they're deployed on Fractal, Base, Solana, and a few other chains, and Ethereum. And so we're really excited to bring them on board.
That is super sick, Brandon. I am so excited for the upcoming testnet more in the future. Like there are so many projects that are building on Nibiru right now. So yeah, I'm looking forward to them. So all right, so let's move to the next questions. I think one thing right now that I saw was Brandon sharing that the team was listening to the communities. Can the team share a little bit more about that?
Yeah. So earlier this week, we actually had our first Anunnaki call. Hopefully we'll be doing this more frequently, especially as we come closer to the EVM launch. But I mean, essentially, one of the biggest perks of being an Anunnaki is being able to relay feedback to the team directly. For example, I like to use Stefan guinea pig here, but Stefan's provided a lot of good feedback in terms of like homepage, how we can make improvements. So, for us, like once the EVM goes live, that's going to be like one of my priorities is just really fleshing out the website and making sure the content is most up to date. I know we've kind of we've put that on the back burner as we kind of focus on getting the dApps up and running. But, obviously the dApps being up and live is, in my opinion, really important, but doesn't mean we shouldn't neglect the site. So we'll definitely be prioritizing that in the coming months. But really, it's just, getting Anunnaki feedback on the dApps themselves. So what we like to do is we like to give Anunnakis alpha in terms of the apps that will be running, certain incentive campaigns or, campaigns in general first before we relate to the broader community. So, it really is beneficial to be a part of the Anunnaki Ambassador Program, and it's very straightforward to join. All you have to really do is, grind in the Discord with the XP. So that's engaging and interacting in the chats, being a helpful community member. One way to really scale up is to actually post content in the content channels and the meme channels because our mods all look at those. And depending on how the quality of the content is, they typically give, a lump sum amount of XP. So would say it would be beneficial to try and join the Anunnaki program. We typically cycle in and out ambassadors. So if we notice that someone isn't as active, if they're only messaging GM, we look at those stats and we determine whether or not we still want them to be a part of the program. One thing I really like is upon kind of hitting that Anunnaki level, either Nam or Papaya would go out and actually reach out to you directly to get more information about you. That way we can collect things like, if you are comfortable sharing like your like address, that way we can send you merch or, other miscellaneous things so we can kind of get to know our Anunnakis a bit better. This way we can actually kind of, understand the strength points of some of our Anunnakis and it could kind of help us when we do community building and, we want you guys to focus on specific verticals. I know Ajmal, for example, is very DeFi focused. So it'd be good to get him to start, pushing out DeFi content on Twitter, which, you know, he kind of already does. So things like that is helpful for us to understand. But yeah, for the most part, it's just, you know, getting Anunnakis involved early and then eventually trickling that down to the broader community to get involved with. But I think the biggest thing really is, you know, getting early access and then, you know, chatting with the team directly about relaying certain feedback and whatnot.
That is very cool, Brandon. So yeah, as Brandon said, there are so many benefits that I know, you know, will get. Like let's say like you can get some access to test the app first. You can like provide the feedback directly to the core team. You can like earn the merch or something like that. So for me, I think if you guys can reach the Anunnaki role right now, I think it will be the best way to, you know, like to Nibiru or something like that. So yeah, so if you guys have any questions about our ambassador program, feel free to reach me or reach any moderators in our community. So we are here to help you guys to be the yeah. So all right, let's move to the next question. We also saw a various space that happened over the past few weeks. So one was on the topic of redefining monetization model. Could you share a little about that for those who miss?
Dude is super robotic. Nam, I could barely hear you. I think you were asking about the spaces I did like a week ago, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep. I am asking that question about the space that happened over the past few weeks.
Yeah. So we've actually done a few spaces with the team from Brave Browser. They're the ones that deployed the BAT token. Brave Browser is the one that, you know, you can kind of earn rewards for deciding whether or not you want to, you know, share your data openly with Brave. But the space was around revenue models. I gave like two thoughts on this, redefining the monetization model. The first point was really around, I guess, like SocialFi. They were like heavily shilling SocialFi for some reason. I think it's because one of the space participants was sponsored. So it was kind of interesting that they were just like hard shilling SocialFi. Personally, I think it's like pretty interesting. I actually used to work on a SocialFi product back in like 2019. And so it's interesting to see that it has gotten more traction over the years, but I think there still is some gap in adoption. I think a lot of it is just due to people that want to farm like tokens versus actually wanting to contribute meaningful content on these like platforms. Like I like to revert back to like FriendTech, for example. That was like, you know, a really prominent example of SocialFi. Another thing I chatted about was just like how L1s need to think more broadly about like their roadmap and vision. Especially when it comes to like revenue and like, you know, earning, you know, meaningful amounts of like revenue to actually sustain the business model. Because at the end of the day, like L1s and whatnot are startups, right, and companies. So I think for us at least, like when we look at our protocols too, and you know how they kind of generate fees, it's always like it feels very welcoming to see that type of mindset versus folks that are, you know, more focused on, you know, short-term incentives. It's important that, you know, as an org, we try to think of things in ways that we can, you know, generate revenue and, you know, how we can then add value to the broader ecosystem and, you know, continue to scale up operations. But yeah, I mean, I think people, especially in crypto, tend to lose the core insight as to why, you know, we need to build these like organizations. You know, it's not really about like launching meme coins and then, you know, making a few bucks and then getting out of the space, right? I think that's mostly value extractive for the most part. So it's really just thinking long term and like how you can sustain, you know, revenue in a meaningful way, right? So that was a little bit about what I talked about and just my opinions on kind of like where I see crypto right now. I think technology wise, like, you know, we still have a long ways to go, but it is nice to see more adoption from Web2 retail into the space. But, you know, we need to continue to do more. And especially on the Nibiru side, like this is a big thing for us, and making sure we have enough resources to onboard the next set of users in a, you know, in a sustainable and easy way. So that's kind of the things I talked about on that space, at least.
Yeah, I think that is pretty cool, man. Like, I also agree that in the future, if we have more adoption from, you know, like Web3 communities, that gonna be like, you know, it's gonna be better than today. Yeah, that I think that's pretty sick. So I just want to move to the ecosystem project updates that we have right now. So last week we had the Nebula sharing their apps during the dApps demo sessions on Friday. So Brandon, you can like, can you share more about that like Nebula, what are they doing and something like that.
Yeah. So a couple things. I wasn't there for the demo, so I didn't see exactly what they showed. But for the most part, I mean, they have a few tasks. The first, obviously, being social tasks. But I think what they really want people to do is actually like create wallets, actually interact on their test nets, and complete certain tasks. So there's like a Galaxy campaign that's set up for that. I know in a few weeks they should be launching an update to their test net, so they'll be adding more tasks essentially. I know this upcoming task, it may be like a vault, or for example, so users can lock in early liquidity for the protocol, and Nebula has their own set of rewards and incentives. So I would probably follow their Twitter, their Telegram, and Discord if you haven't already. I'm not sure if they have a Discord, but I would follow their Telegram and Twitter closely, and especially as the holidays roll up. I know that team has been working pretty hard. I talked to James and a few others on their team quite frequently. So would keep an eye out on them as they continue to roll out more features for the incentive campaign.
Yeah, cool. So please make sure you guys go to follow their Twitters and Instagram, so you're not gonna miss any news from them. All right. So Brandon, I also saw that we had X Space with Aviatrix. Like maybe you can share more about this as well.
Yeah, the Aviatrix stuff actually came out in like a surprise for us. We actually met the team back in Dubai when we hosted our Dubai event, but they built a crash-like game. They have like a 5 million euro prize pool. So pretty cool to see. I know a few of you in the Discord have actually played the game, and actually a few of you have actually won like a pretty sizable amount. So pretty good to see. Yeah, so they're actually live on our mainnet, which is pretty cool. Hopefully we'll see some more games coming out of their platform. But I believe, if I'm not mistaken, they're originally a Web2 org, and they actually make pretty sizable revenue. They sell I think like a proprietary API to casinos. So pretty interesting business model, but clearly they're making decent revenue if they have a 5 million euro prize pool. So easy win for us. Nice little collab. We'll be working closely with them to see kind of their broader product scope, but would be kind of cool to see more games coming out of it like Crash in the future.
Yeah, I think that is pretty sick. The price pool is pretty big, right? It's 5 million euros. So yeah, it's very big. And I just saw that yesterday, someone from our committees, like just won like 70K Nibi, which is, like very nice one. Yeah, congratulations for him. All right. So I just want to like move to the in real life event updates just a little bit, because like 2 weeks ago I checked in on like the India Blockchain Week that was happening during that period. Perhaps the team can share again like what went down during the India Blockchain Week.
Yeah. So I think we collabed with CoinDCX. We hosted like a ton of different events. Actually all here was in person with some of the folks at Nibiru. We had Jonathan, Unique, Quen, and I think that was it from the team. But for the most part, I mean, we hosted like several, in-person events, met a lot of folks, got some decent amount of leads out of that event. Overall, I would say mostly was a success. I know a few colleagues ended up getting sick. I think either Ajmal or Quen could probably speak a bit more on the actual logistics of it. I mean, maybe Ajmal, if you wanted to go into like some detail on like your observations or what you saw, or even Quen can go into detail.
Yeah, Ajama, maybe you can share more about the India Blockchain Week if you want.
Yeah, it was a nice experience. Met Unique, then Jonathan was there, Corinne was also there. So Unique had like 3 or 4 talks all around. There was like multiple events. So the team attended. First, there was an event with CoinDCX, and then there was IBW conference, and it was a 2-day event. There was like we had the lot of people who were interested, and we met a lot of people. And we also had like one night event, like dinner party, and then we had a brunch. And yeah, it was nice to have the team, to know more about the team. and also to meet other people who are interested in Nibiru. So it was a nice event overall.
Yeah, that's cool, Ajama. Thank you so much for sharing. When during the DevCon, I also met like Yura, Corinne, Quen. I think that is a very nice time. Like we can talk about the ecosystem things. We can talk about crypto and about Nibiru, which is really nice. Yeah. So, but thank you so much, Ajama and Brennan, for sharing about the India Blockchain Week. So I think the last things of today will be about the ambassador program. And as I saw, Brandon just shared a screenshot of a voice chat session that happened a few days ago. So Brandon, maybe you can share a little bit more what is that sessions, and maybe you can leak just a little bit what we talk in that session for other people who still haven't get the Anunnaki role.
Yeah, a few things. First thing was we showcased the initial drawings of the Genesis NFT collection. So obviously that was like a big alpha for the Anunnakis, just to see what the collection is going to look like. There will be both male and female selections of the NFTs, so really exciting. We'll obviously have more information on how users can qualify for those NFTs. We'll likely have like a formal whitelist of community members. Likely, if you're an Anunnaki, you'll get some type of whitelist. Not sure. The other component I shared was just like an initiative that will be running soon. Just for those in the chat, we will be focusing heavily on just like community building, and a lot of that will stem from one of you guys maybe creating either like an NFT project on the chain or even like a meme coin. And so stay tuned. We're calling it RFCs, which is requests for communities. There will be a formal page out alongside a form for users to start applying for. Perhaps sometime next week or the following week, we will also be announcing like a prize pool for people that actually, take the time and, start actually building out their own communities. This is like an opportunity for people to formally create, use their imagination to create things like memes, meme coins, NFTs, and other variety of community-based like initiatives. So I will share more details in the Discord, and actually I'll try to share maybe end of day today. We just need to get a couple logistics things ready for the page itself, but would really love to see the community to start getting involved, and then kind of pushing out the pool on the broader like Twitter, and then just getting more eyes on it. But excited to launch that. And then the meme coin side will actually be in collaboration with Omni. So of course, when you deploy your meme coin, you'll want to deploy it on Omni. And then with the NFT side, you would want to deploy it on like OpenMark, for example. So stay tuned for the initiatives on that side.
Yeah, that's super sick, Brendan. I am also excited about both NFT and the request for communities that you can create your own community that related to the meme coin or anything. I think that is pretty quick, to be honest. So yeah, I think there is nothing else to ask from my end. So I will just go through the chat to see like who has any questions. Oh, this is the Nibibara, right? The one that Quinn sent, the one that Noel sent here.
Yes.
I think my pictures also looks cute. Yeah.
Yeah, Eric's been working hard to improve the AI agent. So Nibibara is getting it's getting better every day. It's tricky because I think the virtuals agent out of the box doesn't come out very unique. So it ended up sounding like every other AI agent on virtual. So we had to add a lot of customization to the agent. And so we're working on improving it. We fed it the Nibiru docs, for example. So it has a lot of information about Nibiru. And then we're actually also feeding it some Delphi reports. So that's like, the Delphi is like a very prominent figure in the space with like up-to-date, like crypto related updates and whatnot. So we're feeding it as much up-to-date information as possible while still like having its own personality. So it's a work in progress, but it's kind of like a fun experiment that we've been playing around with.
Cool. All right. I think we are running late, like 6 minutes already. So yeah, anyone have any questions? Feel free to drop in the chat. So yeah, we have like Brandon, Noel, Quen, and G here with us. So yeah, guys have any questions, feel free to drop in the chat. All right. If nothing, Stefan, do you have any question? Tomai? I saw both of you turn on the mic, so I'm not really sure that you guys have
They were server muted, so I unserver muted.
Oh, all right, guys. So, one last thing that I just want to remind you guys that is the new ecosystem spotlight and Nibiru ecosystem DApp demo that will happen on bi-weekly basis on Thursday and Friday. We will have the ecosystem projects that come to showcase their products and share more information about their products. But next week will be a week of Christmas, so I think nobody gonna be there. So the next session will be like the weeks after Christmas. All right, guys. So thank you so much for joining today. Thank you, Brandon. Thank you, Noel, Quen, and Jeez, and everyone here for joining these sessions. So yeah, once again, if you guys have any feedback to the team, feel free to drop in the chat, or you can just DM me. Thank you so much, guys.
Thanks, you guys.
Thanks.
Have a good one.
Bye bye. Take care.